Console and cross-platform beta starts today at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, July 23rd. And I have plenty of codes to give away this week, guys, like a lot. So if you're interested in playing and trying it out, we have a bunch of ways for you guys to do that. Today, I'll be giving away my level 6 invite code to a random viewer and any others that we might get as well. So make sure you guys are in the chat when we go live later. The link will be down below. And we also have amazing news because the Twitch drops from Marvel Rivals will allow viewers to earn a code just by watching our Twitch stream for only 1 hour. This starts on July 25th at 12 a.m. Eastern Time, and I plan to take full advantage of this and give you guys codes as much as possible. All you got to do is tune into the Twitch stream and the YouTube stream. I'll be linking them both down below in the comments and the description. In this new beta, we have patch notes with changes to many characters, and we also have 2 new characters which I'm very excited for: Venom and Adam Warlock. We have a new stage also to check out too, and I've also learned a lot about Spider-Man and plan to fully show off his kit properly this time to you guys. Let's not talk about before. But also hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on any of these updates, guys, and help raise that 38% even higher. Now, with that being said, let's get into this video. I want to know from you guys, which character are you most excited to try out? Who else do you also hope makes it into the game? Marvel has a list of over 8,000 characters devs keep talking about, from which the pool of which they could choose from because the Marvel IP is so huge. So we can expect to see a wide variety of characters over the lifespan of this game. Now, since the alpha of the game ended, I attended the great school of Necros, the Genji Goat. And let me tell you, I've learned a lot of great stuff with Spider-Man, and I'm ready to show you guys just exactly how the character is meant to be played. Obviously not at his level, but you know, I could do some service with it. But Venom and Magneto with his buffs, as well as Spider-Man, are the characters that I'm very interested in with this beta and looking forward to trying them out later tonight. Now, I am not gonna front with you guys. They have patch notes, but these have to be the worst patch notes I've seen since like 2018, 2019 Smash Ultimate Nintendo patch notes. They're pretty bad. The good news is I do have some confirmation from a live stream that they did late last night going through most of the character changes, so I will be reading them off to you coming straight up from the game devs. But just to give you guys an idea of how horrible these are, let's look at the Doctor Strange one right here. And by the way, these are just the beta changes, so it's very likely that these patch notes are vague for this reason. And maybe on the full launch, I hope for full launch, they actually give proper patch notes with like full damage numbers and actual metrics for us to go off of after we know certain things with the characters. But for Doctor Strange, it says we've recalibrated Doctor Strange's damage capabilities to better resonate with his Vanguard role, enhancing his power on the front lines. Listen, none of that shit is what they said. I'm actually going to pull up a clip right here for you guys to see.
All right. Okay, let's go to some notable changes. Doctor Strange, we don't need to show it, we can just touch on it. We have patched the exploit. I know you guys with your right click and left click combo, you know what I'm talking about. It's not good because we patch it.
That's it. He says that the exploit before, where Doctor Strange could pull up his shield with the right click and then instantly bring it down and drop an attack immediately, they've patched that. How is that reflected in these notes? I have no idea. We've recalibrated Doctor Strange's damage capabilities to better resonate with his Vanguard role, which I guess would mean he was doing too much damage before. Now he's doing damage as well within the line of him being a tank. Enhancing his power on the front lines, I don't get that part. How enhancing his power? They just said they nerfed him, so how do they enhance him? I don't know. Maybe there's some other changes as well, but that's not being reflected here, so I don't know what to tell you guys. And when it comes to Groot, they've meticulously balanced Groot's tree wall abilities and their survivability. They straight up said that they nerfed the tree wall, that it was a little bit too strong. They made it a little bit weaker. It has a smaller health pool. It's easier to break now, which I think is solid because Groot is probably the best tank in the game, I would say. He's very easy to pick up and play, especially with Rocket on the team. He's living a long time and is a very popular character. A lot of people, most teams are running Groot. Now, Magneto, I'm pretty excited about. It says that we've overhauled Magneto's ability logic, empowering him to generate magnetic barriers more freely, effectively neutralizing enemy assaults. So basically, the shield that Magneto would bring up, it had a crazy long cooldown, like 8 or 7 seconds, which kind of made it like useless. Yeah, it didn't have an HP gauge, but still, for it to go down on cooldown for that long and only protect for 2 to 3 seconds, there was not really any use behind it. So they changed it to make it so that the cooldown for this move is actually like 2 seconds max, which is great. So you'll be able to use this more often as Magneto. He's still not going to be a good main tank. He's still going to be an off tank, but at least now he can help the main tanks negate a lot of damage. And his Metallic Curtain, for example, is really good against Scarlet Witch. If you see Scarlet Witch coming up with her ult, you could just pop that and negate all that damage. Furthermore, the Metal Shield, Metal Bulwark can now be self-applied, granting him greater agency on the battlefield. I like this change a lot because I thought that the Zarya shields were kind of silly, that he can only put them on other people, and he got no real benefit outside of the fact that it made his right click come back quicker, and he couldn't apply it to himself. Now he can apply it to himself, which gives him more survivability. And for Peni Parker, we fine-tuned the combat style for the bot, notably amplifying the left-click attack speed, so she's going to attack faster, thus dealing a little bit more damage to evoke the sensation of unleashing a large weapon. This adjustment will hopefully provide players with a more immersive experience when piloting the mech as Peni, which is an improvement for the character. They showcased that as well. Now, for Black Panther, we've amplified his prowess in wall climbing and sprinting, elevating his potential to unleash breathtaking combos. Moreover, when Black Panther triggers a team-up ability with magic, which is new, he has a team-up ability now with magic, he gains the ability to summon a Limbo Disc Portal at will, which he can throw around and teleport to with his C button, and you could also use hers as she sets up around the map. Climbing the walls in general for a lot of characters was a little wonky before. Obviously, with it being the alpha, that was something that we all hoped would be changed and improved on. It seemingly has been, because later on in the general changes, they said as much. But Black Panther's kit revolves around him landing the spears and the to keep his dash attacks going, to remain elusive and being a target that's really hard to hit, because he is melee range, technically. And in this game, melee range, you got to be very elusive because getting hit is very easy. I believe one of the weaker parts of Black Panther before was if you missed the spear, it didn't the cooldown was too long and you basically be shit out of luck and stuck with Black Panther. You couldn't dash out with him, or maybe it was the vice versa. If you missed the dash, you could not get the spear to generate back quickly. I don't recall what it was because I didn't play as him, but I did see a lot of videos talking about that was a main issue with Black Panther. Other than that, his power could be tweaked a little bit, but this is just a minor change that they've gone ahead and made. Hela, we've adjusted Hela's mid to long range capabilities, ensuring a more balanced and compelling combat experience. So before Hela, I mean, she's essentially the sniper of the game. She has a hit scan projectile with her basic attack. At all ranges, she essentially did the same amount of damage, which was kind of crazy. She could borderline one-shot people if they were slightly damaged a little bit with a headshot from range. They've adjusted her mid to long range capabilities, so in the mid to long range, she's no longer going to deal the same amount of damage. She will deal less damage, which I think is fine. She's crazy before. She's one of the few characters that has a hit scan ability, and she's still very easy to pick up and play, provided you land your shots. Iron Man, they've enhanced Iron Man's long-range offensive capabilities, giving him more formidable suppressive powers, and furthermore, the gamma energy upgrade of his team-up ability when using the armor overdrive has been increased. So overall, Iron Man can hit from a lot further away. He does more damage from further away, and overall has been improved. He wasn't necessarily a really weak character before, but in most matches you stopped really seeing him around as much compared to Storm. Storm was used mostly more by everybody else, but cool to see Iron Man got some love. Namor, to aid in increasing Namor's mobility, we've adjusted the skill Blessing of the Deep so that when it's activated, Namor can freely move in the air. Also, we appropriately buffed his damage. So yes, his damage has actually been buffed. He kind of like, you know, if you're landing your headshots, he can reflect almost Hela's damage, sort of. It's kind of crazy. His range isn't obviously as good as hers, but he's dealing good damage. And now when you use the sphere in the air to negate damage, you could actually move around with it. So you can get out of danger with him now, instead of people just waiting underneath you for your move to finish and then just kill you when you land out of it. Punisher needed some nerfs. Every team had a Punisher, was running Punisher, and if you weren't, you just made winning that much harder if you were not running him. Especially with Rocket on his team, they nerfed those aspects about him. We fine-tuned the active use time of his team-up ability with Rocket. In his new rendition, each team-up ability window becomes even more precious for the Punisher. Another hit scan character, his team-up ability with Rocket gave him infinite ammo. He might still be a very strong character, but there isn't that much to his kit outside of being a assault running gunner, but most people don't really need to run and gun with him. You just set up shop with a turret and rain down bullets on people. I'm hoping Punisher gets some tweaks because man, it ain't fun to play against a Punisher. And the last category are the strategists. So we didn't actually see too much of these two right here in the showcase, but they talked about Loki. They heightened the significance of Loki's illusions, slightly balanced his primary form's healing and damage capabilities. In this update, Loki will rely more heavily on his illusions to actively participate in combat, adding depth and strategy to his gameplay. I believe his damage and his healing was a little bit too strong before, so they nerfed that slightly and put more of an emphasis on using his clones to fake out opponents and safely join in combat. This is what they're aiming for with his character, as he is a strategist, and they specifically mentioned they wanted to add more strategy to his gameplay. And for Mantis, we've enriched Mantis's ultimate ability, granting her the ability to offer enhanced survival support for the entire team by providing temporary health to already max health allies, overall buffing her kit, so Mantis is in a much better place right now. Also, in addition to the above optimizations, we fine-tuned the balance of each hero, ensuring that players enjoy a more refined and exhilarating combat experience during the CBT. So they kind of generally went around and probably tweaked the damage numbers of everybody and probably the attack speed, I would imagine, as they're not mentioning it here, but they did say each hero has been tweaked in some way. They just can't list all the changes. They listened to a lot of our feedback as well during the previous alpha test, so they went ahead and they switched up some things like ability actions. They fine-tuned each hero's interrupt and action transitions, aiming to minimize constraints on player actions, empowering them to unleash their full potential. Sometimes you can get really locked down and it was frustrating depending on which moves or how many moves you're getting hit with all at once. So it seems that they've reduced the hit stun or the CC ability of some moves to give you more of an opportunity to damage them back and defend yourself. Sound and visual effects. The sound, I'm not gonna lie, was pretty ass before. No matter how far away an enemy was, you couldn't really detect the range properly. It sounded like they were always really close to you. So it was kind of, it made you kind of paranoid, at least for me. So they seemingly have fixed that, as well as visual effects. Also in this as well, they have implemented a pick and ban system, but it will only be in Diamond Rank 3 and above. That's when Cosmic Selection, which is the pick and ban system, will be required. And also in tournaments, they'll be implementing that as well. And also, as of right now, the devs have straight up said they don't plan to do or implement role queue within this game, which I saw in the chat that a lot of people within the community were like on the fence about it. Some people really like that and claim that that's what killed Overwatch. I honestly wasn't around for when that happened, and a lot of people are saying that it's going to hurt this game and that role queue should be within it. I think the game does a decent enough job at telling people what the team needs in this aspect and giving people that free playability of whatever it is that they want to do. However, I think it's ultimately a ranked decision. If you are going to be playing ranked, you should be considerate of what the team needs and pick within that for reasons. But in regular queues, I don't know. I don't think it's that big of a deal. It depends on what you're going to be playing with, and I know a lot of people are going to be very vocal about this for quite some time. There we have it, guys. That's the closed beta test patch notes for the game, and I'm looking forward to giving away a lot of codes. So look forward to this week. Like I said, sub to the YouTube channel, sub to the Twitch. Check us out. We are going to be going live and dropping as much Twitch drops as we can to keep you guys fed and get everybody into this as well. And I want to get a decent amount of viewers within the beta, because the previous one, I had to play solo a lot. There was a lot of viewers that were watching that unfortunately did not have codes because of the way that they did the alpha code giveaway. So now I'm hoping with this switch drop aspect, we'll be able to create teams and we can run even custom matches against each other, because we will be able to have a significant amount of people watching us and playing the game, hopefully. Fingers are crossed. But I want to hear what you guys think. Let me know. Sound off in the comments below. We're also going to be streaming Samurai Jack later. He is dropping today for Multiverses, and they've got a patch notes video dropping for that as well. The patch day in general. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed and subscribe if you are new. More Marvel Rivals videos are on the way and you don't want to miss it. My name is BltzZ, and thanks for watching.